today we're going to be learning about 1-point perspective. So you do need your ruler and you need your pencil. And please just start by putting your name up at the top. So I'm going to write mine as the teacher key. Okay, make sure you're on the 1-point perspective practice sheet side. And what we're going to be doing is creating 3D forms by drawing lines to the center vanishing point. Okay, so really quickly here, please mark it. This is my horizon line. And this right here is this little dot is my vanishing point. In class, we have one vanishing point because it's 1-point perspective. So let's get you started. And then step 1, okay, is that we start by drawing the horizon line. Now the horizon line has already been done for you, but we are going to write it in as a step because if you were to do this on a blank sheet of paper, you would need to do that step first. So number 1 over here on your directions is to draw the horizon line. Okay, and I'm going to underline horizon line because that's one of our vocabulary terms. Okay. Next step is then to draw the vanishing point, which has also already been done for you. Okay, and it's singular this time because it's 1-point perspective again. Okay, now we get into the last 3 steps. Okay, and these last 3 steps are what you repeat over and over again in order to complete your boxes or your forms. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is draw the shape. And that one has also been done for you. And you can create any kind of shape. We notice that this is like an organic shape. This is one of our geometric shapes. Remember that we have 5 standard geometric shapes and the organic shapes are your blob type objects. So we have our shapes drawn, and now the last 2 here, we're going to draw the receding lines. And if we remember, receding lines are the lines that connect the shape to the vanishing point. I'm going to underline receding lines because that's our vocab term. And the last one then is to draw the parallel lines. And those are the lines that are going to help us cut off the form or cut off the box so that it looks like it's floating and just not going forever into space, okay? So we're going to start with one of the easier ones first. We're going to do the oval, okay? And how we do this, we're looking at, we stopped at number 3 here. The shapes have all been drawn for us, so we really just need to do steps 4 and 5. And step 4 is to draw the receding line. So what we're doing is we're connecting our vanishing point to our shape, and how you do that with a rounded object is I like to put my pencil on the vanishing point, and I like to swing my ruler until it hits my form, boom, like right there. Okay, that's where it hits. And now, class, you are welcome to draw the line all the way back to the vanishing point. Okay, but what I'm going to teach you is if you want to save your eraser, I would only draw it just far enough so that you don't have to go back and erase all of your vanishing point lines all the time. So I'm going to do it on that side. Now to find the other side, okay, I'm going to switch my ruler over, and I'm going to, if you need to, you can put your pencil on the vanishing point and swing the ruler in. Once it hits the form, okay, then you draw it out. Now class, some of the things that I see students doing is they're not getting out here far enough and they're trying to do something like that. Okay? It makes a huge difference, okay, to make sure that you get all the way out to the edge of your form. So really try to get way out there, okay? Now we're on to step 5, and step 5 is to draw the parallel lines. Well, class, the parallel line here, how you figure that out is you take what's happening on the front side of the form, which would be this curvy line right here, and it's like you're going to copy and paste it down below. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to curve that line and try and curve it at the same angle. You can choose, is your form going to be super thick? Is it going to be super thin? Okay, I could have technically cut it off way up here and it would be a really thin form, but you can choose however thick you want it to be. Okay. And then the last step would be to erase any extra receding lines. So now I have a cylinder that is coming back to my vanishing point, disappearing back. And class, it's as simple as that. So now we're going to shift to the heart, okay, where now we actually have a visible point. And this is where we're going to talk a little bit about how do you know when and where to draw the receding lines, right? So One of our spaces that we know we can see based on our oval is right up here. This top part of the heart is going to be where we connect to the edge of our shape. So I'm going to swing it in here. Okay, boom, that's where it hits. Okay. And now some of you maybe already saw it. When we have a point here, okay, then that also is an edge, okay, of our form. So we can start lining up to the point. Okay, but there's actually a hidden one on this heart, okay, that we would technically see. Yeah, okay, some of you are seeing it. It's actually back here, this little bump. And here's how we know. Okay, some of you might have guessed like this spot, and here's my thought with that. If our form was not solid, like you could see inside of it or down it, hey, you could use that one, but we're gonna keep it really simple for 7th grade, and we're gonna say that all of our forms are gonna be solid. So class, if I were to try and draw this line back, would I actually see that at all? No, because the front panel would be covering it, right? So my rule is that if the receding line has to travel through the shape, you don't draw it, okay? So if it has to go through the original shape, you wouldn't draw it. So when I look at this back piece, okay, and I like skinny this ruler in, okay, notice how it doesn't go through my form right away. Now, based on how thick I make this, it's gonna run into this part of the heart. Okay? I would still see it, but I maybe wouldn't cut it off. Okay? So class, that was step 4. Step 5 now is to cut off the form so that it doesn't look like it forever goes into space. And we're just copy and pasting what's happening on the front, okay, which would be this arch, to the back side. So we're just cutting it through all the way down and around. Just as if you were to draw a heart back here, I would kind of fill it in here so you can see it. Okay, something like this. Okay, that's what you're trying to draw. Now you guys don't have to add, you shouldn't add this part because we wouldn't actually see it, right? Okay, then I erase any of my extra receding lines. And there's the heart. Okay, you should be able to see the top side and the side of it, right? Now class, if I'm shifting down here, help me out. Am I going to see the left side or the right side? The left side, right? Because it's coming from the vanishing point. So, class, okay, based on the numbers that I am just putting on my triangle here, what 2 corners am I going to draw receding lines from?
1 and 3.
1 and 3, very good. How come I'm not going to do it from corner 2? Because it's going to go through the shape, right? And we just decided that we're not going to do that. So you take your ruler, you line up corner 1 to the vanishing point, draw a line back. Okay, that's a receding line. I'm going to keep mine shorter so I don't run into my heart. Okay, and then from corner 3, oh, sorry, move it up here so you guys can see. Okay. Corner 3, back to the vanishing point. Please make sure you're always going back to the vanishing point. Okay, let's just come out here so you guys can see it. And then class, okay, here's the fun part. I'm going to mark this line as line number 1 and this line is number 2. What line am I copying and pasting to close out the box?
1.
Line 1. Very good. So here's the best way to do that. I would line up your ruler along the edge and you're going to just slide it very carefully outward. And the reason why I recommend this is all too often I see students just try and connect their 2 receding lines. In class, that is not correct. Okay, you need to make it at the same angle because they need to be parallel lines. Okay, and I erase my extra receding lines, and now we have the triangle done. All right, let's level up to the star now, right? Okay, some of you can probably see it right away. Okay, these 2 are probably obvious ones. Okay. If I label the rest of these, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 8. We got a lot of spots that we can test out, right? So let's start with the 2 that we maybe know or we saw. Okay, so there's that one. Drawing it, connecting it back to the vanishing point. Okay, I'm gonna look at number 8 here. Class, does it go through my shape right away?
No.
No? Can I draw it then? Yes. Okay. This one doesn't go through my shape, so I can do that one. Okay. How about number 1 here? Does that one go through my shape?
No.
Okay. Ooh, does it?
Yes.
Yes. So do I draw it? No. Okay. Number 2, that one doesn't go through my shape, so I can draw that one. How about number 3 back here? Can I draw that one? Nope, because it goes through the shape, right? Okay, how about number 4? Not so much back here, right? Because it's going through my shape. Okay, number 5 is very much the same. It's going through the shape, so no, I can't draw it. Number 6 out here, though, that one's good to go. You can do that one. Okay, and how about number 7? Okay, number 7 we probably can't do because it goes through my shape, right? Well, there it is. There's all my receding lines, right? And then I'm going to teach you a little hack here. Okay? We know that this line and this line are going at the same angle because when I put my ruler on them, boom, they're the same angle, right? So all I'm going to do is with my ruler, I'm going to slide that ruler out, and I need to pay attention. I'm only filling in this panel and this panel. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking my ruler, and if you need to watch first so it makes sense, you can watch. And I'm going to slide it out, okay, and I'm going to draw a line there, and I'm going to draw a line there to finish out these 2 panels of my star. Okay? So I'm finishing out the top panel and the bottom panel. And they should be the same line. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my ruler to go horizontal, and I'm going to line it up here going horizontally because now I need to find the top part of the star. Okay? And to find the top part, I'm just going to shift it up until I hit this point where this panel is connecting. So what I'm doing is I'm sliding my ruler up to this point, and then I'm going to draw my lines connecting outward and connecting back to this panel. Okay, I know it gets a little hard when you can't see it with your ruler, okay, but those are the 2 panels that you create there. Okay, then I'm going to erase my extra receding lines. And we only have 1 left. So on to the fun one. Okay, so some of these you guys might be able to see. Okay, right up here on the tippy point, right? Probably have one here too, and one right there. Class, how about this spot?
No. Wait.
Yeah. Okay. Is this the other side of that? If this was technically a oval, would you have one right here?
No.
Okay. Yeah. And then is this kind of a pointed, sharp piece? When I might maybe have one there. Okay. We got one here. Okay, but we'll check that one out. We got a point back here, point here. We kind of have one here, but we'll test that one out. We got one back here and here. So I'm just mapping out all of the little sharp, rounded pieces to my project, and now I'm going to check them to see if I can draw them as receding lines, okay? So let's start up out here on the top. Okay, I'm lining up to that top curve, back to my vanishing point. It doesn't go through my shape, so yes, I can draw it, right? On the next one here, same concept. It doesn't go through my shape, so I can draw it. Okay, kind of the same all the way down this whole side, right? Okay. Again, if you need to slide into the shape because that's easier for you, you can. What I'm talking about is taking your ruler and slide it up to the form. Okay, and I got this one on the bottom you guys said I needed to do. In class, when I look at this one that I kind of mapped out, I wouldn't do that one because why?
Because it goes through the shape.
Goes through the shape, right? But this one down here doesn't, so I can do that one. Okay. The one up top here goes through the shape, so we can't do that one. Okay, but this one way back here, okay, way back here, I can do. I'm going to do that one. Okay. Can't do this one because it goes through my shape, right? So That's a no-go. Okay, let's check this one way up here. Okay, ooh, this one's tricky, right? Okay, depending on how you have your rulers set, I would say that yes, you could do that one. Okay, and then last but not least, this one we wouldn't do because why, class? Goes through the shape. Very good. Okay, so I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 receding lines. Now we get to cut the thing off, right? Okay, this is one where I'm going to leave it shorter so that I can show you guys how to tuck in hidden sides, okay? So where I'm going to start at is actually kind of the complex one right here. And remember, we're copying and pasting whatever's happening on the front side to the back side. So if it helps you, draw this curve right here, okay? And what you're going to do is just replicate that same curve and tuck it in. Okay? If it helps you, it's the same concept here. I'm going to draw that curve maybe once or twice so I can get it in my head what that curve feels like. And I'm just going to move down a little bit and do the same thing. Okay? Starting to get hard on your brain, you can erase those extra receding lines. Okay. Next spot, okay. Sliding down, same concept. I can do the line a couple of times and then just copy and paste. Okay. Down here, I'm curving it this way. So I'm going to repeat that. Notice how I'm keeping my space here the same. Okay, it's important for you to keep your form spacing, how thick it is, the same. Again, I'm going to erase some of my extra receding lines so it's not super complex and hard for my brain to understand what's going on. Okay, back here. Okay, here's the front part, right? I'm going to trace that curve a couple times and I'm just going to shift it down and draw it in. Okay. This one is just a horizontal line, so I should just be able to draw a horizontal line, cutting back. And this one, the front panel is a diagonal, which is going to look kind of goofy here, but you're going to try and just copy and paste. It changes the angle just slightly off of our receding line. And that is how we complete your worksheet. What you're going to do now is make sure your name is on it. I'm going to collect it and I'm going to give you your points for today for completing this assignment.